Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Norzan Safin Najimi. My matrix number is 2024, 629 and 628.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. My name is Raja Muhammad Adimi Adam bin Raja Muhammad Tazri. My matrix number is 2024845918.
Hello, my name is Muhammad Mirza bin Muzha. My matrix number is 2024 271578.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Aisha Sarah binti Zakaria and my matric number is 2024242142.
For introduction, the early of Malaysian independence were marked by significant political, social and economic transformation from 1957 to 1981. The leadership of the country, first three prime minister, which is Tunku Abdul Rahman Al-Haj, Tun Abdul Razak Hussein and Tun Hussein, which is play a pivotal role in shaping the nation's identity, unity and long-term development. This leader faced complex challenges in reigning from ethnic tension and economic disparity to regional instability and internal political struggle. But through their distinct leadership style and policy decision, they laid the groundwork for Malaysia to evolution into the functioning multicultural democracy. So right now I will talk about the Tun Hussein crisis during his leadership. So the first one is leadership transition of public expectation. So when Tun Hussein became Prime Minister in 1976, following the sudden death of Tun Abdul Razak, he faced the immediate challenge of stepping into a role during a time national grief and uncertainty. So Tun Hussein was known for his reputation of a strict disciplinarian and a man of integrity, but many question whether he could match the vision of political charisma of his predecessor. So this transition, the leadership created a period of political adjustment where maintaining public trust and internal unity with the UMNO and the Barisan Nasional, which is coalition, was crucial. There was a significant expectation for him to carry Razak development policy, especially the new economic policy, while also ensuring the political stability. So now we move to the economic challenges and inflation. During Tun Hussein tenure, 1976 until 1981, faced growing economic problem due to the global inflation, rising oil price and declining commodity prices such as rubber and tin, which were the backbone of the Malaysian economy at that time. This economic downturn affected government revenue and the livelihood of many Malaysians, especially in rural areas. So the government had to manage budgetary constraints while continuing development program under the NEP. Tun Hussein administration responded with cautious fiscal policy and strengthened the public sector discipline, but economic growth slowed, leading to increase the public dissatisfaction. So lastly, communist insurgency and national security. One of the major crises under Tun Hussein leadership was ongoing Second Malayan Emergency, a renewed wave of communist insurgency led by the Communist Party of Malaysia, CPM, which intensified in the late 1970s. The insurgent target security forces and infrastructure, which is especially in border areas and rural part of country. This posed as a significant threat to national stability development. Tun Hussein took a firm stance on national security, expanding the power of the police and armed force. He strengthened the cooperation with the neighboring countries, especially Thailand, to curb cross-border insurgent activity. The Internal Security Act, ISA, continued to be used to detain suspected communists without trial, which while controversial, was deemed necessary for national security at that time.
Today, I will share with you the story of Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra Al-Hajj, Malaysia's first Prime Minister, focusing on his background, the major crisis during his leadership, and the important initiative he introduced to build our nation. Tunku Abdul Rahman was born on February 8, 1903 in Alustar, Kedah. He was the seventh prince of Sultan Abdul Hamid Halim Shah. He started his education locally and later won a scholarship to study law and history at St. Catherine's College, Cambridge University. While studying in England, Tunku faced racial discrimination, which made him more determined to fight for equality and independence for his country. He also started the Malay Association of Great Britain to help Malay students studying abroad. After his studies, Tunku returned to Malaya and joined the Kedah Civil Service. He worked as Assistant District Officer in Kulin and later as District Officer in Padang Tera and Langkawi. There he worked closely with local people and helped solve public health problems like malaria. In 1951, Tunku became the president of the United Malay National Organization UMNO. He then created the Alliance Party, which brought together UMNO, the Malayan Chinese Association, and the Malayan Indian Congress to unite the country's different ethnic groups. Despite his success, Tunku faced several crises during his leadership. First, the formation of Malaysia in 1963, which joined Malaya, Singapore, Sabah, and Sarawak. Singapore had a large Chinese population, which worried the Malay and led political conflict. Second, Malaysia faced threat from outside during the Indonesia and Malaysia confrontation. Indonesia did not agree with the formation of Malaysia and started military and political conflict. The Philippines also challenged Malaysia's claim over Sabah. This problem tested Tunku in diplomacy and strength of the country. Finally, the most serious crisis was the racial riot on May 13, 1969. After a test general election, violent fight broke out between the Malay and Chinese in Kuala Lumpur, causing many deaths and damage. This tragic event showed how fragile national unity was. Tunku introduced many important initiatives that helped shape Malaysia's future. One initiative was promoting national unity. He worked hard to bring together Malay, Chinese, and Indian through the Alliance Party. This helped build a peaceful and inclusive society. Another important initiative was in education. Tunku focused on giving all Malaysians better chances to study no matter their races or religion. He believed education was important for the country's progress and for bringing people together. He also supported sport and cultural activities to help build a strong national identity and unity. Tunku also introduced social welfare programs to improve the life of ordinary Malaysians. These include better healthcare and affordable housing. This effort shows his care for all citizens.
Tun Abdul Razak, the second Prime Minister of Malaysia. He was a pivotal figure in Malaysia's journey towards independence and modernizations. Born in 11th of March 1922 in Kampung Keladi, Pekan, Tun Abdul Razak was hailed as an aristocratic family, which is he came from a Pahang royal family lineage.
Ini Tun pula tiba dengan kenyataan kita dapat hidup kembali aman damai lagi.
In 1970, Razak became Malaysia's second Prime Minister. His tenure was marked by significant reforms aimed at promoting national unity and economic development.
Yang berhormat Tan Sri Sri, Yang berhormat Deko Kaibo.
His first initiative as a Prime Minister of Malaysia is the introduction of new economic policy in 1971. It had two main objectives. First one is to eradicate poverty regardless of race. Second one is to restructure society to eliminate the identification of race with economic function. For example, Malays in agriculture, Chinese in business, and Indians in estates. The NEP marked a significant shift in Malaysia's development strategy by emphasizing social equity, inclusive growth, and national unity through economic reform. Second is political and administrative stability. First is the formation of the National Operations Council (NOC). After the May 30 incident, Tun Abdul Razak led the National Operations Council Majlis Gerakan Negara or Mageran to temporarily take over the country administration. This move restored law and order, prevented further violence while Parliament was suspended. Second one is creation of Barisan Nasional or BN. In 1973, Tun Abdul Razak formed Barisan Nasional, a coalition that replaced the Alliance Party. By including more political parties from various races, this helped promote national unity and strengthen political cooperation. And the third one is the strengthening of the civil service. First, the establishment of the National Institute of Public Administration, or also known as INTAN. Tun Abdul Razak founded INTAN in 1972 to train and develop civil servants. This helped improve the efficiency, professionalism, and competency of government officers, ensuring they could implement national policy effectively, especially the new economic policy, NEP. Second one is decentralization of administration. He introduced regional development authorities like FELDA and KEDA, which allow civil servants to operate closer to the people in rural areas. This made public services more accessible and improved the government responsiveness to local needs. So the challenges of Tun Abdul Razak is the aftermath of the tragedy of the May 13, 1969 racial riots. It is one of the most severe crises Tun Abdul Razak faced. What's the aftermath of the racial riots? A dark chapter in Malaysian history. This violence clashes between the Malay and the Chinese communities broke out in Kuala Lumpur following the general elections. The opposition party has made a significant gains which provoked tensions and ultimately led to street violence, destructions of properties, and loss of lives.
Hello everyone, today I will be presenting the inspiring journey of Tun Hussein On, Malaysia's third Prime Minister, affectionately known as the Father of Unity. Tun Hussein On, born on February 12, 1922 in Johor Bahru. Tun Hussein dedicated his life to strengthening national unity, upholding integrity, and improving education opportunities for all Malaysians. His tenure as Prime Minister came during a challenging time marked by economic instability, the communist insurgency, and high public expectation following a leadership transition. Despite these obstacles, Tun Hussein's wavering commitment to justice and equality led to initiatives like the National Unit Trust Scheme and the promotion of Rukun Tetangga. His strong stand against corruption and focus on equal opportunities through education set him apart as a visionary leader. Through his time in office was cut short due to health concerns, Tun Hussein On's principle and leadership style left an enduring legacy. Today, I will look through his remarkable journey and the impact he made on Malaysia's growth and unity. Now, let's move on to the initiative and resolutions to change by Tun Hussein On. For the first one is the promotion of national unity. Tun Hussein On implemented several impactful initiatives during his leadership. focusing on unity, corruption prevention, and education development. To foster national unity, he emphasized the importance of programs like the Rukun Tetangga, which brought communities together to promote harmony and mutual understanding. This initiative was crucial in strengthening bonds among Malaysia's multicultural population. For the next one is anti-corruption measures. In addressing corruption, Tun Hussein On introduced anti-corruption measures aimed at creating a transparent and accountable governance system. These measures laid the groundwork for a cleaner administration and helped to restore public trust in the government's integrity. For the last one is the education development. Tun Hussein On also placed significant emphasis on education development, believing it to be a key driver of social mobility and national progress. He supported programs that expanded access to quality education, ensuring that all communities, especially the underprivileged, had opportunities to improve their life and contribute to the nation's growth. Through this target initiative, Tun Hussein On worked to create a more united, fair, and prosperous Malaysia. His leadership remains a testament to his vision for positive change. Now, let's move on to the last part of the Tun Hussein On, which is the strength and weakness of Tun Hussein On. For the first one of the strength of Tun Hussein On is strong commitment to national unity. Tun Hussein On's leadership was marked by several significant strengths. His strong commitment to national unity stood out as one of his most defining qualities. He championed initiatives like the Rukun Tetangga, which brought communities together to promote mutual understanding and cooperation. This effort helped strengthen Malaysia's multicultural fabric and fostered peace among its citizens. Another key strength was his high integrity and firm anti-corruption stance. Tun Hussein On consistently emphasized transparency and accountability in governance. His leadership set a strong example of ethical governance, working to build public trust and ensuring fairness within the administration. For the last one of the strength of Tun Hussein On is focus on education and equal opportunities. Furthermore, he prioritized education and equal opportunities by expanding access to quality education for underprivileged groups. Tun Hussein addressed social and economic disparities. This initiative empowered Malaysians, giving them tools to improve their livelihoods and contribute to the nation's development. Lastly is the weakness of Tun Hussein On. For the first one is short tenure due to health issues. Despite his strengths, Tun Hussein On's tenure also had its challenges. One of his notable weakness was his short tenure as Prime Minister, which lasted only 5 years. This was due to health issues that forced him to retire in 1981, limiting the time he had to fully implement and see through his policy. Another weakness was his cautious leadership style. While his meticulous approach ensured truthful decision-making, it often slowed process and made him less open to bold or unconventional solutions. This cautious nature sometimes hampered the government's ability to respond quickly to pressing issues. The last one is, in addition, his administration faced criticism for the continued use of restrictive laws like the Internal Security Act, which is although these measures were designed to maintain national security, they were perceived by some as suppressing political dissent and limiting civil liberties. Critics also argued that his focus on preserving stability may have led to missed opportunity for significant reform. This reluctance to take risks sometimes limited his administration's ability to adapt to a rapidly changing environment, leaving certain issues unresolved.
In conclusion, the early decade of Malaysian independence were shaped by the distinct leadership style and contribution of first three Prime Ministers, Tunku Abdul Rahman, Tun Abdul Razak, and Tun Hussein. This leader faced complex challenges in a young and diverse nation, from gaining independence and forming a multiracial society to address economic inequality and ensuring political stability.